Prologue. Slow-simmered shredded chicken, vegetable, and 3-bean soup. Gah! Ah, shit. God damn. End prologue. Meet Tony Chu. Tony Chu is almost always hungry and almost never eats. Here's why. Tony Chu is cibopathic. That means he can take a bite of an apple and get a feeling in his head about what tree it grew from, what pesticides were used on the crop, and when it was harvested. Or he could eat a hamburger and flash onto something else entirely. Strangely enough, the only food Tony Chu can eat and not get a psychic sensation from is beets. Consequently, Tony Chu eats a lot of beets. Anything else, sir? Just the beets, please. Tony Chu is a cop, Philly PD. John Colby is his partner. Yeah, and I'll take all this good stuff, a thirsty 2-ounce cup of joe and 2 packs of Camel unfiltered. And make it snappy, Apu. We're on the clock. Whatever you say, officer. Why do you antagonize that kid? He spits in your coffee, you know, every night. Yeah, and if I ever catch the little bastard doing it, I'm gonna ram my nightstick so far up his... Vice cops don't carry nightsticks. Always the stickler, you. What are you doing out here anyway? Somebody's supposed to stay in the van at all times while we're on stakeout. What can I say, Chew? I'm the unhinged, break-any-rule, loose-cannon cop. You're the by-the-book square that never met a departmental regulation you couldn't love. That's why we work so well together. Work well together? Colby, we hate each other. Well, yeah, there is that. This would be their last night on the job. The last night of the stakeout. Heads up. Looks like we got some carry-out. What do you think? Let him get a few blocks away and ticket him? Nah, he's holding a breast and a couple of wings. Probably less than £1. Poor bastard probably blew his entire paycheck on it. Let him be. Not worth the paperwork. Hold on, we got another one. And Christ, this guy is packing. Must be carrying 25 pounds or more. Uncooked. Jesus, we gotta take that guy in. I don't think so, Chew. It's your brother. My brother? Which brother? Which do you think? The TV guy, the one that had the meltdown on air. Did he get fired for that or just suspended? Then continue to stir the onions over medium-high heat, adding 2 teaspoons of brown sugar. Then scrape off the browned bits in the pan frequently until it has caramelized. Now we add bay leaves and the chicken. Or, in this case, we would add the chicken if it was legal and available. Instead, substitute a 14-ounce can of poach-free, chicken-flavored, naturally, and stir. And... Look, no matter how I spin this or disguise the flavor, the end result is still going to taste like boiled ass compared to how it's supposed to. I'm supposed to stand here and pretend this sad crap is actually tolerable when in fact it's barely freaking edible. There was never any bird flu. The government tells you there was, and they are lying. No disrespect to the people who died, but this was never about birds. The government has an agenda, and this bird flu hoax is at the heart of it. It's all bullshit! Every word the president said is a damn lie. Screw him, screw the Senate, screw the Congress, and screw every damn liar in Washington for ratifying a constitutional amendment based on lies. Miserable fuck. The culinary networks in the kitchen with Chow Chu went on hiatus immediately after the broadcast of its October 13th episode. The FCC, under the advisement of the FDA, suspended Chow Chu from appearing on the air for 8 months and levied a $4 million fine against the culinary network, the highest fine in cable network history. I'm bringing him in. What? Hold on! You bust him with that much weight and that's felony possession. He'll do time for that. Good. For Christ's sake, Tony, it's your own brother. He ought to know better. You're not taking him in. Like hell, let me go, John. D-Bear. Huh? D-Bear. There he is. We got him. What's up, D? Homie. The new kingpin in the flesh. Guy's dropped 5 bodies that we know of. Now he's got the wing meat business cornered for the entire South Side. We take him now? Nah, give him a 5-minute head start. Let him inside and get this week's payoff. Maybe he'll have dinner, too. That's another charge we can add to the list. Vest? Hell yeah. If we've learned anything on this case, it's that D-Bear has an itchy trigger finger. Come on, baby. Lock and load. You sound like an idiot when you say that. Let's just take this guy down without you sounding like a reject from some crappy action movie. Yeah, whatever. On the contrary, my esteemed constables, you won't be doing anything of the sort. Savoy, Agent Mason Savoy, FDA. What the hell? I'm afraid your erstwhile query, one Mr. Deshaun Berry, perhaps better known by the colorful urban sobriquet D-Bear, has entered into an arrangement with the United States Food and Drug Administration. In exchange for information supplied by Mr. Berry, we are allowing him to continue his enterprise unmolested, and I must insist you fine law enforcement officers do the same. What? He wants us to let him go. I'm not stupid, Chew. You can't do this, Savoy. We're working a case and that guy is a killer. There is a greater good to bear in mind, I assure you. So what are we supposed to do now? One of two things, I imagine. Go back to your precinct, complain to your bosses, and see if they complain to my bosses. Whereupon, your bosses will be reminded of who ultimately has jurisdiction in matters regarding the transportation, possession, and preparation of illegal land and waterfowl. Or, in the spirit of cooperation, you can go into yon eatery and enjoy an enticing, albeit extra-legal, regalement of the finest poultry the American black market has to offer, all at the expense of the United States government, and with my complete and sincere blessing and compliments. The password is Wishbone. Chicken dinner? This stinks, John. Do me a favor, Chew. Don't go ordering some free-range organic beet salad or any hippy-dippy bullshit like that. You go into a chicken speakeasy and order anything other than chicken, they're gonna think you're a cop or an asshole. Try not to tip them off that you're both. Password? Wishbone. Table for two? Fucking A, Jeeves, and make it snappy. Screw the menu. Give me 2 drumsticks, a breast, and a thigh, all extra crispy, coleslaw, mashed potatoes, side of baked beans, and a great big damn Coke to wash it down. Very good, sir. And you, sir? What's the soup? Chicken soup, sir. Slow-simmered shredded chicken vegetable and 3-bean soup, to be precise. Yeah, that'll do. Fuckers. Asshole. Damn, look at this place. Your brother is right, you know. This poultry prohibition is bullshit, and the FDA has turned into a bunch of fascist pricks. How many people outside the government really want chicken to be outlawed? Bird flu or no bird flu? And we're both assholes for enforcing it. It's the law. It ain't real police work. We got D-Bear solid on 5 murders. You telling me that isn't police work? Hey, it's like the saying goes. You outlaw chicken, and only outlaws have chicken. That isn't how the saying goes at your meals, sir. God damn, I am looking forward to this. That's some mighty fine fried chicken. How's the soup taste? Pam Whitaker, hitchhiker, 17-year-old runaway. Elizabeth Bacon, bag girl at a grocery store. She helped him out of the store, carried his bag out for him. He took them, and 11 others, chopped them up, did things to them, ate them. What are you talking about, Tony? Who did this? Cobb. His name's Tracy Lee Cobb. He's a sous chef here. You telling me there's a serial killer in the back room? In the kitchen? Ah, Christ, Tony. And you know this because of your thing? He's leaving soon. He drifts to find new girls. He's itching to move on. The urge to kill is getting too strong. Come on, partner. FDA's got no jurisdiction on this. We're gonna take that sick fucker here and now. Police! Everybody stay cool. We don't give a rat's ass right now about this chicken operation you got running here. But if your name is Tracy Lee Cobb, raise your hands high in the air and step forward, slowly. John? John! What the hell are you waiting for, Tony? Get him! Freeze! You ain't taking me, cop. Gun in a knife fight, asshole. You lose. Now, you're going to tell me the name of every single one of your victims. I got a few of them in my head already. Other memories are jumbled, not so fresh. Brandy Davidson. Met her in a dance club. Took pictures of her tied up before you did your thing, didn't you? Pam Whitaker. You picked her up on a drive to Alexandria. Remember her? I want to know about the others, Cobb. All 13. What the hell are you? Tell me their names, Cobb, where you did them, and how. I'm gonna close these cases. Give the girls peace. Give their families closure. Screw you, cop. Their names, Cobb. Not a step further. I told you, you're not taking me in. I'm not going back. I'm getting those names, Tracy. One way or another. Damn it. You rather die than go to jail? Fine. But I'm still getting those names. Later.
A good call out, True, even if we don't have the slightest friggin' idea how you did it. The names of all 13 girls check out. Cases spread across 5 states and 8 counties. Some of them have been missing for years and had been completely written off as cold cases. We found a bone saw in Cobb's apartment, blood streaks in the bathtub, $8,000 cash under his mattress, and a refrigerator full of human heads and meat. We also found an ice chest in his car outside work, filled with chicken breasts. He was smuggling them out of the restaurant, as well as trace amounts of human fillets he was using to cut the soup.
Cutting the soup with meat from his victims?
High price for chicken on the black market. Must have figured D-Bear was going to get wise, because Cobb had a bus ticket with his money stash and his stuff packed like he was ready to split. Seems like you did a hell of a job, Chew. Seems like it. Except your partner is still in surgery. Doctors say he doesn't have a shot in hell of making it through the night. The other murderer, the one you spent the last 2 months investigating, who turned out to be an FDA informer, is now MIA, after discovering 2 cops in the heart of his illegal chicken franchise. And I got 2 beat cops on record. They found you on top of a cannibal serial killer who just slashed his own jugular. And they had to pull you off him because you were too busy biting off his face. You feel like explaining that to me? Not just why you repeatedly bit the late Mr. Cobb, or even why he sliced his own throat, but how exactly you became aware of his proclivities, or how you knew the name and circumstance of death of every single one of his 13 victims. No problem if you don't, because Internal Affairs is outside, looking for the same explanation. Your city-appointed lawyer wants a word with you, along with the department's psychiatrist. And then, of course, there's the FDA. Biting a perp corpse? What the hell were you thinking? You're a good cop, Tony, even if you are an odd duck. But I'm afraid, under the circumstances, there's too damn many questions. You're gonna have to hand over your badge and your gun. I'll go to bat for you, however I can, and maybe keep you out of jail or the loony bin. But I'm guessing your days as a law officer are over.
On the contrary, my esteemed constables, this is but the august prelude of what is sure to be a lengthy and storied career in law enforcement. Savoy, you made a discovery tonight, one that allowed you to bring down a heinous and depraved serial murderer. We made a discovery too, one that will provide us with a valuable resource in our continuing fight against crime. Effective immediately, you are an employee of the Special Crimes Division of the Federal Government of the United States of America. You work for us now. Welcome to the FDA, Agent Chew. End Chapter 1. Prologue. Excuse me. Excuse me, young man. Huh? The hamburger I ordered has cheese on it. So, take it off, lady. Young man, I do not appreciate your tone. For your information, I have trouble with the digestion of dairy. All right. Hold your horses, Granny. I didn't ask for your life story. I'll get you a new burger. Pushy old bat. Huh? End prologue. Here's Tony Chu. It's Tony Chu's first day as an agent with the Special Crimes Division of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the most powerful law enforcement agency in the world. Here's why he was hired. Tony Chu is cibopathic. That means he can take a bite of an orange and get a feeling in his head about what tree it grew from, what pesticides were used on the crop, and when it was harvested. Or he could eat a piece of bacon and flash onto something else entirely. When Tony walked into the office this morning, he was given the file of every open murder case involving food-related crime and or cannibalism in the last 8 years. He was told he was expected to close one open case a week, no matter how old or cold the case. It was Tony's new boss, Mike Appleby, who gave him the order. This is Mike Appleby. He has an immediate and intense hatred for Tony, and he's determined to make Tony's new career at the FDA a pure and unending living hell. How you coming with those case files, freak show? There's a lot to digest here, sir. That's some sort of joke, Chew? No, what I mean is, some of these files haven't been touched in years. No evidence, lost evidence, mislabeled report statements. It's gonna take a while to get up to speed. You're gonna be one of them, are you? An excuse maker? No, sir. No, sir, boss. I just meant I've got a lot of reading and catching up to do. Damn right you do. And what's this? This? My lunch, sir. I thought I'd take my lunch at my desk while I reviewed these old case files. Your lunch? Yes, sir, boss. Beet salad. Beets? You mean the one thing, according to your file, that blocks your little freak show foodstuff psychic superpower? Are you actually that stupid, Agent Chu, or are you just trying to aggravate me? We didn't hire you for your sterling detective prowess. Doesn't matter anyway. This being your first day and all, your lunch today is my treat. You didn't have to do that, boss. No, really, it's my pleasure. I hope you like finger foods. Oh, Jesus. How old is that thing? Practically prehistoric. Took a couple days to work up the bureaucratic chain, and it probably wasn't all that fresh to begin with. Some brain-dead fast food fry monkey found this in the back room of a McBeefy's over in Greenpoint. And you are gonna tell me exactly who this displaced digit belongs to. You're kidding, right? You want me to run this over to forensics or something, right? Num in your tum-tum, Agent Chew. I'm not sure this is in my job description, Mr. Appleby. Listen here, fuckface. I tell you what's in your job description, and then you do whatever I say, right down to a damn T. Could I possibly make myself any more clear on this, Agent 2? My friends, do I detect the slightest degree of consternation amid our humble vocational paradise? Your insubordinate new partner doesn't want to do his job, Agent Savoy. And this raving asshole is pissed because I don't want to eat a decomposing finger. Anthony, I hope you don't mind if I call you Anthony. As you're going to discover, this job will take us down some of humanity's darkest paths, into black recesses of the human heart and soul you've not encountered, probably not even ever imagined. It's our place to make sense of this darkness, to find our way back to the light, for the sake of the innocent and the uncorrupted. Do you imagine whoever lost this finger does not want to be rescued? And if he is in no state to be rescued, does he not want to be avenged, or laid to rest, or given closure? It's a sad fact, and an awful truth. Sometimes, in the course of this job, you're going to eat terrible things, all in the name of justice. Now, if it is your preference, I shall perform the ingestion. You're a Cibopath. Indeed I am, Agent Chu. That's the scientific name for people like you and I, for what we can do. Cibopaths. We're an extremely rare breed, you and I. There are only 3 verified, documented Cibopaths in existence.
Yeah, and the other one is a stinking Ruski.
He's Serbian, and a singularly unpleasant individual. As distasteful as it is to ingest a decaying finger, it is for the greater good, and sometimes our only choice. It's a choice you already made once, when you decided to dine on an unrepentant killer in order to find the identity of his victims. This thing we share, cibopathy, is a gift, though it often may seem the opposite. It is also an obligation, a modest means of defense against a world that can be unspeakably cruel and terrifyingly violent. Now, if you don't mind, no, Agent Savoy, I'll do it. I guess it's my job, right? Meet Evan Pepper. He's a health inspector for the state of New York, with territories concentrated around Williamsburg, Brooklyn. He's been on the job for 13 years. He has an ex-wife who does not talk to him, alimony he can't afford, a 2-bedroom apartment in Park Slope, and a miniature dachshund named Mr. Butterworth. Recently, Evan Pepper made a strange and disturbing discovery, and made some dangerous people very angry as a result. No, please, I won't say anything. Tell him, please, tell him I won't breathe a word. Tell Mr. Ah!
What's the deal, rookie? You getting anything?
Pepper. Evan.
Trash can! Christ, rookie, grow a pair. You get the information or not?
Evan. Pepper. Health inspector.
You get a home address?
Just a neighborhood. Brooklyn. Park Slope.
Not bad, rookie. That matches up with our fingerprint info. Savoy, check out the Vic's home addy. Agent Finger Chewer here can canvass the McBeefies where his lunch special turned up.
You already had the information from the fingerprints?
And the DNA.
You made me eat that and you already had the information?
You son of a...
It's not worth it, lad. Not right now.
I guess we'll settle this later, freak show. Maybe when your guardian angel isn't around to save you.
I don't have to tell you a damn thing, pig. Listen, son, you're not in any trouble. I just want to ask you a couple of questions regarding that Oh, yeah? And what if I don't feel like answering? My dad is a lawyer, and he says all you FDA guys are a bunch of fascists. He says the only reason chicken was outlawed is so jerk-off FDA bullies like you can have an excuse to hassle people. I know my rights, cop, and unless I've been selling chicken, smuggling chicken, or eating chicken, you got no cause to mess with me. Is that so? I told you, my dad is a lawyer. I know the truth. Everybody does. The whole chicken prohibition is bullshit, and there never was any bird flu. It was all just a big conspiracy. Hey, you listen to me, cop? Huh? We done now, cop? Can I get back to work now, cop? We are, and go ahead. I need to make a phone call anyway.
Right on, Danny, you tell him.
This is Agent Chu. I have an exclusion request. Subject name is Kornblum, Daniel. Cornblum. Huh? Subject has identified father as a vocal dissenter. Request strike team sent to residence for elimination of agitator. Yeah, that's right. Better make that all of the family just to be safe. A bullet to the head? Yeah, that's just fine. Or take your time with them. If you like, have some fun. What are you doing? Sounds like you are the one having some fun. Let me guess, some snot-nosed, politically aware teenage punk giving you attitude. More or less. It's shaping up to be a lousy day, and I need to take out my aggression one way or another. There's nothing here, by the way, and certainly nothing in the way of cooperation. Mister? No here, my boy. The good Squire Pepper absconded from his residence some time ago, 3 weeks ago, give or take, and in considerable haste, judging by the dishevelment of his domicile. He even left his little doggy behind. The unfortunate creature was practically skin and bones. Ah, poor thing. I'll tell you everything, officer. Anything you want to know. Anything. Poor thing indeed. Call me should your further investigation bear fruit. Yeah, sure. Okay, where were we? Last weekend, I stole $40 from the register so Frank Barton and I could buy beer and weed, and it wasn't the first time I've done that. And Chuck Foster and Candy Duchesne have been having sex every day in the break room and not cleaning up. And 3 weeks ago, Mitch Baker peed in the ice machine on a dare, and then we double dared him to pee into the drum of artificial chicken that the manager bought in Japantown on the black market. And also, I downloaded all my term papers for the semester off the internet along with 3 gigs of music and 12 gigs of porn. But I swear to God, I don't know anything about where the finger came from. Please don't have my family killed, officer. I was never going to, you little moron. And for the record, it's agent, not cop, not officer. Now, show me this black market chicken you were talking about. Mason, I think I found something. And so, just an hour or so later, I thought we'd, stake this place out or something first. Me and my old partner, practically all we did was stakeouts. Oh, yes, your old partner, Mr. Colby. I read his file. Seemed like a fine detective. Unfortunate what happened to him. I'm afraid we do not have the luxury of time, Anthony. Should word get back the FDA is sniffing around, our single lead is sure to all but evaporate. That logo you discovered on that drum of chicken belongs to Sushi Ono, which just so happened to receive D ratings during its last 2 city health inspections. Inspections conducted by one Evan Pepper. Go in there and keep your eyes and ears open. Sushi Ono's owner is a gentleman by the name of Sota Tomamaki. Present yourself as someone in the market for some inexpensive chicken in large quantities, and you'd heard some scuttlebutt that Tomamaki was the man to see. You're not coming in? My dear boy, you are, as yet, an unknown quantity in the world of criminal comestibles, whereas I have history with the Food and Drug Administration, and the likelihood of someone recognizing me is only exceeded by... Anthony, lad, are you listening to me? It's that girl. You know her? No, but I'd like to. The job, young man. Leave romance for your off hours. I know. Here goes nothing.
Sorry, we closed.
The sign says open until 10 p.m. Plus, I just want a couple quick hand rolls. I'll eat quick, in and out in no time.
No. Sushi no fresh today. You no like.
You'd be surprised at what I can stomach. Besides, it couldn't possibly be as bad as my lunch. Actually, the reason I stopped by was to say hello to a friend. Business acquaintance, to be precise. Friend of a friend. Mr. Tomamaki. You think he might have a moment for a word? Oh my. This sushi really is old.
Yeah, it always old. We don't want anybody to eat here. That's why food's so bad. And anybody who know the first thing about Mr. Tomamaki know that. That's how we know you lying about being a friend, mister. That's how we know you got to die.
Hold on. My name's Chew, FDA.
FDA? That just means we cut you up into smaller pieces.
And hide your body more carefully when we're through. Savoy, you read me? Call for backup. Savoy, I need backup. Backup has arrived. Mason? Lovely. No doubt I'll be absolutely profuse with the redolence of rotting fish for the rest of the night. And so, later, you were amazing in there. All in a day's work, my boy. Did you think you would just be some file sorter and pencil pusher? You're in the FDA now. This sort of stuff happens all the time, and you'll need to be prepared for it as well. What about Evan Pepper? He's still missing. Despite appearances to the contrary, Agent Chu, I'm not omnipotent. Some cases actually take more than a single day to solve. But tomorrow morning we'll get IDs on the men we just took down, and each and every one of them will be positively identified as Yakuza enforcers. Every one of them wanted several times over by Interpol, the CIA, the KGB, and any number of other law enforcement agencies. Appleby would be overjoyed we brought in a case of this caliber. He might even crack a smile. Buck up, lad. This is what we refer to as the end of a good day. Enjoy it, because in this job, this is about as close to a happy ending as we get. Later still, and elsewhere. Got some news, boss, and you ain't gonna like it. All them Yakuza boys you brought in to head up the New York operation, they busted. That phony restaurant of theirs was swarming with FDA feds. We got us a picture of who set it off, before all the security cameras got deactivated by ninja throwing stars. Him, that's the boy that done made the trouble. I want a name, Caesar, and once you have that, put out the word. Bring me this agent's head, and I'll pay whoever does the deed $5 million. End chapter 2. So, I met someone. A girl. 3 days earlier. Morning, miss. Meet Amelia Mintz. Amelia Mintz is paid to eat, and then to write about what she's eaten. Here's why. Amelia Mintz is a Sabo Scrivener. That means she can write about food so accurately, so vividly, and with such precision. People get the actual sensation of taste when reading about the meals she writes about. Lately, Amelia has grown supremely bored with her job, and the culinary world in general. In the last 2 months, she has only written about restaurants that get a D rating or worse from the New York Department of Health. Mintz, in my office, now. And by the end of the day, Tony Chu will be hopelessly in love with her. The beginning of the day involved considerably less love. Agent Chu! Got any news on that missing health inspector or what's his name? Evan Pepper? No sign of his body, but I've interrogated each of those Yakuza enforcers twice, and submitted them for voice and polygraph analysis. I've done a daily canvass of city and county morgues for John Doe's, and accessed local traffic cams of Pepper's last known whereabouts. Plus, I did an ATM transaction search and have a scuba team dredging waterfront areas closest to his apartment. In other words, no. Always excuses with you, Chu. I bet if you didn't wake up every morning hoping to nibble on some smelly murder victim, you wouldn't even drag your lazy ass out of bed. You sicken me, Agent Chu. You revolt me. I'll be in my office. Don't disturb me, unless by some miracle you get some actual detective work done. I really hate that dude. Don't worry about it, lad. In a minute or two, I have no doubt you'll be having the last laugh. How is the Pepper case progressing anyway? Oddly, there's a couple of things that don't quite add up. Politically, this guy was a big supporter of the constitutional Farmland Security Amendment. He was also a stickler for paperwork. Municipal investigators are required to file a 207Z report with the FDA on all cases relating to poultry, chicken, or chicken substitutes, right? So, where's the paperwork? I found a remnant of a deleted 207Z on Pepper's home computer, but nothing on file with us. How does Pepper's Yakuza problem translate into a deleted file with the FDA? And why would anybody on our end delete that report? And what could have been in it?
I highly doubt this is the result of any nefarious intentions. Likely it was little more than human error. You do know what they say is the one thing worse than bureaucracy, right? Government bureaucracy.
Yeah, but... What the?
I told you you'd get the last laugh. Looks like Applebee's perusal of this morning's Mercury Sun finally led him to the food section. God damn it. Hey, circus geek, maybe this is a case you can handle. Either Amelia Mintz is out of a job by the end of the day, or you are.
Who?
I don't care how you do it. Bring her in on charges if you like. Reckless endangerment, libel, whatever. But this woman is done writing about food. You got that? By the end of the day, Agent Chew, do I make myself clear?
Who's Amelia Mintz?
Who's Amelia Mintz? My dear boy, if there's one food writer in the entire world you should be reading, it's her. I took the liberty of anticipating Applebee's request and got our archiving department to deliver a complete selection of her reviews and clips. I think you will find them edifying.
That's her, the girl I saw at the fast food place and at the sushi place.
Read.
And I did. And it was glorious. Reading her work, it was like I was actually tasting things for the first time. Eating, without everything that usually goes along with it for me. The aftertaste and undertaste of slaughter and death, and cages and dirt and feces and hormones and pesticides. It was like something magical. What she could do. Her writing was sort of like fate had thrown her at me. Like she was the perfect girl for me. Amelia. She's beautiful, too. Did I mention that? And I was supposed to fire her? Arrest her? Out of a job by the end of the day, Appleby said. The prick. I can't do this, Mason.
You might want to reconsider that decision, Agent Chew. You came very close to physically attacking your direct superior the other day. Do you really want to add insubordination to whatever ammunition he is gathering against you?
I suppose you're right.
Of course I am, boy. As for Miss Mintz, the woman possesses a singularly unique talent, but as long as she's writing with the intention of sickening her readers, she's legitimately a menace. What's that chatter in the background, lad? Where are you, anyway?
In line at the Mercury Sun. Bunch of pissed-off people today after reading this morning's paper. Seems like everybody wants a word.
In line? You're FDA now, Agent Chew. You don't wait in lines. Sorry, friend. Like I told the last 20 people, Amelia Mintz is not taking visitors. If you have an appointment, it's canceled. If this is a cold call, you're plumb out of luck. But I'm not here to complain. I have something for her.
Federal Agent Anthony Chew, FDA, here to see Amelia Mintz.
I figured one of yous guys would be showing up soon enough. 9th floor, Northwest Feature Department, just past the city desk. I'll buzz you up.
It's something new, something that's never been seen before. I think it's a fruit.
Now, what's that you're going on about, fella?
Amelia Mintz is the food writer, yes? I want her to see this. I think it's a fruit.
Well, I'll be jiggered.
Editor-in-Chief Herb Erlacher. Where is he?
In his office, mister, but he's not taking visitors.
He'll see us. Hi, my name is Tony, Tony Chew. I'm with the FDA, but don't hold that against me. I saw you last week, twice in one day, and both times you took my breath away. I discovered your work today and thought it was astonishing, amazing. I don't have the words for what you do, but reading it literally changed my life. You have a gift, and I wanted to meet you and thank you and tell you how much I appreciate what you can do. I'm a Cibopath. I don't know if you know what that means, but I'd love to explain it to you. Maybe tonight over dinner? I'd love to. Whatever you're feeling, I feel it too. From the moment I laid eyes on you, an electricity between us. What did you just say? What Tony actually said, FDA. I'm sorry, I couldn't understand a word of that, other than I think you said FDA. Are you here to arrest me? And a cold sweat formed on Tony's brow, and he tried to get the right words out, but his heart was pounding furiously in his chest, and it sounded exactly like this. Thump, thump, thump. We are egg. We believe the fascist government of the United States of America is lying to you about the cause of the bird flu. We believe the government's poultry prohibition is illegal and unconstitutional. We believe people should be free to eat whatever animals they choose. Why we believe this is outlined in copious and persuasive detail in Egg's 75-page manifesto. Everything you were told about the bird flu and American chicken prohibition is a lie. The Mercury Sun is going to agree to publish in its entirety on tomorrow's front page. Or your editor dies. And then we start killing the rest of you. I don't think so. FDA, stand down, motherfucker. Stand down, I said. You make me say it again, and it comes with a bullet. You better believe I'm faster and more accurate than you. Maybe so. But that's why I brought friends. Looks like we've got a higher value hostage. Good for us. Now the Egg Manifesto is going to be printed in every paper in the country. Not gonna happen. Of course, we could make a pretty good political statement and get all the press we want by just shooting you right here, right now. No, calm down. Nobody's shooting anyone today. Girlie, are you nuts? You ain't even got a gun. What, you think you're going to just waltz in here and talk us out of this? I do, she said, and then she stood there with a confident, clear voice, the voice of an angel, and she recited the restaurant review that was printed earlier that day, a version of it anyway. Assuming the gunmen were too busy that morning to have read the original, she recited her first draft. Lady, what the hell are you talking about? The draft before she toned down the description of the rancid meat, spoiled dairy products, and the taste of live maggots, fried rat, and boiled roaches. You need to shut your trap, lady, now, or I swear I'll blow your freaking brains out. In all its glorious stomach-twisting detail. Oh, God, please, stop. Shut up. That was the moment I knew. No doubt, no uncertainty. This was the girl for me. This was true love. The gunmen were taken away in ambulances. They'll probably be in ICU for about 2 more weeks, contending with severe stomach spasms and explosive fits of vomiting and diarrhea, before the FDA moves them to its undisclosed holding facility for anti-prohibition radicals. Appleby showed up afterwards, actually looking pleased for a change. Of course, he still insisted Amelia Mintz be fired, and I be the hatchet man. He and I had a few words about that. The prick. I don't know. Maybe she heard me arguing. Maybe she thought I was going to arrest her. But by the time I cleaned myself up and went looking for her, Amelia was nowhere to be found. I went to her apartment that evening to talk to her, to thank her for saving my life, not to fire her. She'd cleared out of there, too. She left a message for her boss, but it didn't explain much. And then she was gone. And I don't have the slightest idea where she is. So what am I supposed to do now? Please, mister, I don't know. Huh? Who are you? And why are you telling me this? You're freaking me out. Sorry, Mr. Escarole. I must be in the wrong room. Hey, Tony. Hey, sorry I'm late. Didn't know you moved rooms. Long time no see. Yeah, FDA job keeping me busy. Oh, yeah? Anything new? Nope, nothing new. Nothing at all. End chapter 3.
Appleby here. What do you want?
Hey, Mike, it's Chuck from the Baltimore Bureau. Got a tip I wanted to pass along to you. We caught a couple chicken runners down at the waterfront. Just a couple of dumb kid smugglers. We got one of them ready to spill his guts because he thinks he's getting a deal with the DA. He had a bit of info to pass along. Word is there's a hit on one of your boys. Bounty of $5 million for offing one of FDA's finest.
One of mine?
That's right. Rookie by the name of Chew. Okay, Appleby. I'll see you around. Tell your boy to watch his back.
Paperwork. Chew, get in here. Chew, get your lazy, incompetent, cannibal ass in here. Where the hell is Tony Chew?
On your feet, lad, and tell me, do you care to venture a hypothesis as to the reason behind the profoundly unsettling events we just witnessed?
Mason, I don't have the slightest damn clue. Although I'm about 90% certain upire is the Russian word for vampire.
42 hours earlier, Washington, D.C.
An overdose? The newspaper said the senator died of a congenital heart defect.
Well, of course they did, Anthony. Imagine the stir if people knew exactly how the respected and beloved Senator Hamantashen keeled over, with a blood alcohol content of 0.18%, a veritable pharmacopoeia in his system that included traces of morphine, cocaine, marijuana, methamphetamines, and Vicodin.
So why are we...
And a pound of half-digested chicken in his stomach contents.
Chicken? Where do you figure he got it? Black market?
That, dear boy, is exactly what we're going to find out. Agents Mason Savoy and Anthony Chew, USFDA, Special Crimes Division, were here to inspect the body of Senator David Hamantashen.
Inspect? Is that what you call it? Here's David Hamantashen.
That is a cremation urn. I called ahead. I specifically requested the body remain unmolested until we completed our investigation.
Unmolested? That's a laugh. I've heard about how you FDA special crime ghouls investigate. I think it's an abomination. Here. Take the remains. You can do whatever you want with the ashes, but I'll not allow you to defile a human body in my office.
Whatever I want, you say.
Hey, what the hell are you doing?
Good day to you, madam. Were you able to get a reading on that boy?
Reading?
On the ashes of the dearly departed Senator Hamantashen.
Sorry, force of habit. I usually close my mouth whenever a room is swirling with the ashes of an incinerated corpse.
Do I need to repeat my speech about the importance of our work and the unfortunate necessity of using this gift we share?
Please don't. Give me a sec, and I'll...
What did you see, boy?
Fire and, sex?
The fire is to be expected. The cremation process is to blame. Most of any impression we would have got has been burned away. It's impossible to get an accurate reading under these conditions.
And stars?
What's that, lad?
Stars. Beyond the flames. Everything taking place under an impossibly bright starry sky. So vivid.
This is interesting. Senator Hamantashen was chair of the National Space and Aeronautics Committee, and he... Aha! Go home, boy, and pack several days' worth of your warmest clothes. Meet me at the FDA airfield tomorrow morning at precisely 7 a.m. Until then, it's imperative to keep your cell phone off and do not open any of your emails. We're taking a trip, lad, to Gardner Kvashanaya.
What's a Gardner Kvashanaya?
This is the Gardner-Kavashanaya International Telescope. It's one of the 3 most powerful telescopes in the world. It is also the northernmost, built in the Arctic Circle, as part of a collective agreement between the respective space agencies of the American and Russian governments. It's positioned under a permanent hole in the ozone, uses mirrors more than 32 meters across, and employs the latest aperture masking and radio velocity imaging technology to deliver interstellar images of unparalleled clarity. It is staffed by a crew of top American and Russian astronomers and scientists. The United States operating budget alone is almost $34 million per year. Past 2 years, Gardner-Kavashanaya has been focused on a single planet, and only a single planet. Autolus 738, the 4th planet in a small solar system more than 24 light-years away. Autolus 738 has been identified as a planet within the habitable zone of the red dwarf star that it orbits. Spectral imprinting has led scientists to believe water vapor is prevalent on this planet, and that the existence of life is a distinct possibility. Top of the morning, lad. I hope you like long flights. I've been reviewing the files you gave me. Looks like Gardner-Kavashanaya has played host to a number of politicians over the past years, including Senator Hamantashen. Usually about the time the National Space and Aeronautics Committee needs to sign off on annual funding. Traveling 4,500 miles into sub-zero wasteland to review funding? Sounds like the kind of trip most politicians would do anything to avoid. Sorta weird, don't you think, Mason? Mason?
What are you doing, Anthony?
Checking my messages? We're FDA. It's okay to use phones on planes, right?
Under normal circumstances, yes. But once you turn that phone on, Appleby can track us if he's looking for us. He's a well-connected individual. I'm reasonably certain he'd call us back if he knew exactly who and what we're investigating. And as our superior, we'd be obliged to obey him. So unless you are expecting a call of such earth-shattering magnitude that it merits abandoning our pursuit of the truth, I would advise you to leave it be. Elsewhere.
Pick up, Tony. Pick up.
This is Agent Anthony Chu with the U.S. FDA Special Crimes Division. I'm unavailable at the moment.
Son of a... Tony, it's Chow. Mom passed along this number. Said you are working for the FDA now. Why doesn't that surprise me? You always were a douchebag, Tony, but I didn't think you'd sink that low. You need to look into Montero Shipping. You get that? Montero. They're running a seriously shady operation, and I think if you do some snooping around, you'll find...
Where is that little bastard? Around here somewhere. Don't worry, he can't get far.
Listen, Ton, I got myself into some pretty deep shit. I think I need your help.
Patience, my boy, patience. We'll reach land soon enough, and after that it's only a 4-hour helicopter ride to our destination.
Oh, boys, end of the rainbow. You'll have a good time, you hear?
You here to party? We most absolutely are not. We're FDA. Here to ensure your peculiar brand of merriment stops forthwith. Well, I guess it was just a matter of time before somebody figured it out. Gardner-Kavashanaya requires little less than $3 million per year to operate. Do you know how much the U.S. government alone gives us to run this place?
$34 million?
That's right. What's left over is more than anybody can spend. Even out here, we could buy anything we wanted. And after we got bored with that, anything we could imagine.
What about your work?
Work? What work? We've been under orders to stare at the same planet for the last 2 years, and nothing else. 24 light years away. Who ordered you? The man who signs my paychecks, Uncle Sam. Or in this case, his deep-pocketed associate, Senator David Hamantashen.
Why the same planet?
Well, a Montashin gave me some files on that, but they're pretty hard to take seriously. I'll show 'em to you if you like. Some pretty weird stuff in 'em. No scientific validity whatsoever. Pure hogwash. I mean, who would ever believe... what's this then? What the... Get down, boy! Mi savasham oskabe drogda moya yani diamo ktaw vot eti nashivagre zosjin prasasam nust ostestum on a passen savoy. Put the gun down. Kata eto malekia glipets. Listen, lady, I don't know what you're saying, but I do. So prosted. Poken me dig atog dalish. Yateben nishigon neskashki. Yaprakano yopaya on moizochan. Mi ishim pravdi. The truth. As do I, my dear. Yano daimo, vashami pravlas, international vlis, chrom pravdi. Yana mova profselo. Yasam sebe zazjan. Niet a javrana upaya on my jojan. Dr. Kavras, do it. Da, my lady. On your feet, lad, and tell me, do you care to venture a hypothesis as to the reason behind the profoundly unsettling events we just witnessed? Mason, I don't have the slightest damn clue, although I'm about 90% certain upire is the Russian word for vampire. What about the girl? She's gone. She wasn't going to let us take her alive. You could see that much in her eyes. And she won't last long out there anyway. We'll see what information we get from the bodies here, living and dead. Though I expect any actual enlightenment will be minimal. We'll send some junior agents to find the body, and resume our own unique form of interrogation when it's sent back to us. What's gonna happen to this place, Mason? 24 years earlier. Autolus 738. And then, tonight. End chapter 4. The last 24 hours have been rough on Tony Chu. Here's Tony just seconds after his partner took a bullet that was meant for him. Here's Tony eating a dog that died several weeks earlier and was vacuum sealed to slow the advance of further putrefaction. And this is how this story ends. This is Tony Chu. He is the last Cibopath in the employ of the Special Crimes Division of the US FDA, a very special agent, able to get psychic impressions from whatever he ingests. And as bad as things have been, they're about to get worse. After today, everything changes. This is how the shit went down. Freeze, FDA! This is a raid! Weapons on the floor, hands in the air. Nobody try any funny stuff. Sirs, you can come in now. We've got everything under control. Under control, you say? And what exactly do you call that? Some sort of vault, sir. Obviously. If you just stand aside, we can blow it open with some C4. No need. You, what's the key code? Fuck you. Wrong answer. Try 7597272. How in the hell did you do that, mister? My dear Agent Chu, you might have just made the bust of your career. That's great. But what about... Chow! Brother. Sup, Tony? Sprice on your head, Don. Called you. Tried to warn you. They caught me.
thought I was you at first. What the hell are you doing here, Chow? Huh? You were buying black market chicken again, weren't you? I ought to run you in. You'd do that, wouldn't you, you dick? Look what they did to my face, man. Because of you, asshole.
No, my friends, this is not the night for this. Not tonight. Come, Mr. Chew. I'll direct you to one of the junior agents outside. They'll get you cleaned up and drive you home. You know, I was quite the aficionado of your old cooking show. It found precisely the right balance of erudite and entertaining, and the world is much deprived for its inopportune abrogation. Ugh. Sloppy, Tony Chew. Shoulda let those FDA stormtroopers clear the room before you got all teary-eyed with your big brother. Now you're gonna die, and I'm gonna get rich. Who's gonna make you rich? Fuck you. No. And so, I really think you need to get to a hospital, Agent Savoy, sir. I most definitely will not. This barely constitutes a flesh wound. One of the distinct advantages of my abundant physique is the difficulty it poses to all but the most determined of bullets. And how are you, young man?
The blood that splashed on me. I'm getting a reading. That guy who attacked me, he was the guy who cut off the finger of that missing health inspector, Evan Pepper.
Are you positive about that, lad?
Yeah, and something else.
Something else?
Just a flash of white. It's gone now.
Well, go home, boy. Clean up. Get some sleep. We've had a long night.
No, I need to get to the office. Write up the report on this while it's still fresh in my head.
Write your report in the morning. There's nothing you're going to write about that's so pressing it can't wait for a good night's sleep.
Oh, shit. Agent Anthony Chew, Special Crimes Division. Want to see everything you got on the Evan Pepper homicide.
Pepper, huh? Give me a sec to look it up. Here you go, pal. Enjoy.
All of these for just the Evan Pepper case?
Every last one.
Why's this box red? And what does it mean by organic? Oh, Jesus God! You want to tell me why there's a vacuum-sealed package with a dead dog in it?
Ain't you heard, buddy? We're keeping everything as evidence now, especially stuff with meat, on account of those twisted freaks that they got over in Special Crimes. Those sick cannibal fucks. You heard about them, right? Course you have. If you're in Special Crimes, you probably even met a...
Out. Sure, mister. You're the boss.
No damn way. Not gonna happen. Top of the morning, my dear boy. What are you doing out here?
Waiting for you, Mason.
Waiting on me? I am most appreciative of your beneficence, lad. But let me re-emphasize what I told you last night. This injury of mine is slight to the point of inconsequence. I see no need for any special treatment. It certainly does not merit an escort to my office.
It's not that, Mason.
What did you say?
You're under arrest, Mason. I wanted to give you the opportunity to turn yourself in on your own. Otherwise, I'm taking you in.
As I have seen absolutely no evidence of a sense of humor from you in the short time since we met, I'm going to assume this is your idea of a joke, which, by the way, is failing spectacularly on every conceivable level. Come along, boy. Cease your nonsense.
You're under arrest, Mason, for the murder of Evan Pepper.
I'm afraid I can't allow that. Perhaps you are a little more clear-headed now, boy, about what you think and do not think.
I don't think anything, Mason. I know.
I was under the impression the very disagreeable gentleman we met last night
The same gentleman that I stopped from murdering you, I might add, was the culprit responsible for the murder of the unfortunate Mr. Pepper.
I never said that. His blood splashed on me, and I saw he was the one who cut off Pepper's finger. But you killed him. I saw that when I tasted the blood. It splashed on me when you blew that guy's brains out. But your blood was in there too. Just a bit of it when you got shot. It took me a while to figure out what was what.
Amazing. There could not have been more than a few drops of my blood mingled with all the rest. It was impressive enough that you got that vault code last night when you were so determined to rescue your brother. Exactly how powerful are you, lad?
You're not even going to deny it? I had to eat decomposing dog just a while ago to confirm what you did.
Why would I deny it? If you saw it, you saw it. The question is, where do we go from here, partner?
I told you, you're under arrest. I'm taking you in.
I think not. What happened to Mr. Pepper was unfortunate, but not unnecessary. A small price to pay for the greater good. Your brother is right, Anthony. The government is lying about the bird flu, and I intend to get to the truth of the matter at any price.
Evan Pepper came to you because he was threatened by a Yakuza chicken smuggling operation. You killed him because you thought he knew something about what caused the bird flu. You even killed his little dog to see what visitors he'd had at his apartment. I haven't figured out what you thought Pepper might know. Not yet, anyway. But I am sure of this. As it turns out, Evan Pepper didn't know a damn thing, did he?
A calculated risk, boy. You're talking about one life. I'm talking about millions.
I ate a fucking putrefied dog because of you today, Mason. You're under arrest.
You little shit. Damn it. You've cost me my job, Chew. The best avenue I had for discovering the truth. Now here's some advice. Let it go. Now. Leave me be. I'll be holding on to this ear, and if I even think you are sniffing around after me, it's going into a soup. You got a big family, don't you, Tony? All those brothers and sisters. You cross me again, and I'm going to know your every secret, and anybody you've ever cared about is going to suffer. Goodbye, Tony Chu. Forever.
This is Mason Savoy. Mason is one of 3 known Cibopaths in the world. That means he can take a bite of an apple and get a feeling in his head about what tree it grew from, what pesticides were used on the crop, and when it was harvested. Or he can take a bite of human flesh and learn many of the secrets of the person who wore that flesh. 3 years ago, 23 million people in the United States and 116 million around the globe died as a result of what the government claimed was an avian flu. Mason Savoy did not believe this to be true, and made a vow to find out who or what was ultimately responsible, no matter what price. As a result, Mason Savoy is now on the run, a hunted man, because he made a critical error and underestimated his partner, a powerful but inexperienced young Cibopath named Tony Chu. Despite taking precautions, Savoy knows that his fate is now intertwined with Chu's, and there is only one possible outcome for the 2 of them. One will die, and the other will dine on the flesh of his enemy. End Chapter 5. End Chew Book 1. Taster's Choice.